You know what? I was not even in a reading mood today. I am just going to be straight with you. I had a whole different plan for this afternoon. I was supposed to be doing errands, sorting out some things I have been putting off all week, just living my regular life. And then I sat down for 5 minutes, picked up my deck just to fidget with it honestly, and something just took over. Like the cards started moving before I even had a conscious intention, and the energy that came flooding in was so overwhelming and so specific that I actually said out loud to nobody in my apartment, okay, fine. We are doing this right now. I put everything else down, set up, and started channeling. And I am so glad I listened, because what Spirit put together for this collective today is genuinely one of the most layered and intense readings I have done in a long time. So if you stumbled onto this video, if the thumbnail caught your eye, if you were just scrolling and something made you stop, honor that impulse. It was not random. Something in you recognized that this message had your name on it before you even pressed play. Really quickly before we dive in, if you are not already subscribed to my channel, please click the link below this video right now. Come over, hit subscribe, turn on your notifications because I post readings regularly and I genuinely want you there for every single one. The community we have built over there means so much to me, and I would love to have you be part of it. Link is right below. Okay, now I am absolutely done with housekeeping because I cannot wait another second to get into this. Let us go. The image that came to me first, before I even pulled a single card, just pure channeled energy sitting there on my floor, was of someone who is completely at the end of their rope, trying to stay composed about you. And I want you to really picture this, because it is actually a little bit funny when you sit with it. This is not someone who casually thinks about you here and there. This is someone whose thoughts keep returning to you like a song stuck in their head, that will not leave no matter how many other things they try to fill the silence with. They wake up, and you are already there. They are in the middle of a conversation with someone else, and their mind just drifts. They are trying to focus on work, on their own life, on literally anything, and there you are again. And the most frustrating part for them is that they cannot fully read you. You are not giving them enough to be certain about where they stand. And this person is someone who likes certainty, who likes to know exactly what they're walking into. And you, just by being yourself, have completely disrupted that comfort zone in ways they were not prepared for and honestly do not know how to recover from. Let me talk about your energy first, because Spirit was very clear that this is where we need to anchor everything. There is a quality to you that is genuinely difficult to articulate, and I am going to do my best. Something in the way you exist in a space, not what you do, not what you say necessarily, just the fact of your presence makes people feel it before they have consciously registered it. When you walk into a room, the energy shifts, not dramatically. You are not doing anything performative or loud or attention-seeking. It just happens around you naturally. People look up. Something changes in the atmosphere, and they cannot always explain why they noticed you first, but they consistently do. Every single time, without fail. And you have probably been experiencing this your whole life, and maybe normalizing it without realizing how genuinely unusual it actually is. Most people do not have this. Most people have to work for the kind of presence you carry without even trying. Some of you carry what I can only describe as a deeply seductive, pull you in without trying energy. The kind that makes people simultaneously drawn to you and a little unsteady on their feet when they get too close. It is magnetic in the truest sense, not because you are engineering it or performing it, but because it is simply what you naturally emit. There is so much happening beneath your surface that people feel it even when they cannot see it. And the people worth anything, the ones with real depth themselves, are the ones who recognize it immediately and find themselves unable to look away, no matter how much time passes. This person who has been watching you, they recognized it the very first time they encountered you. And they have not been the same since that moment. Drop a comment right now and tell me, do people in your life often say there is something different about you? something they cannot quite name or explain, type different energy below because I have a feeling this collective is going to flood those comments. And I genuinely want to see every single one of you down there acknowledging it. Now, let me get into who this person actually is, because the cards gave me a very detailed and specific picture, and I want to lay it all out properly. On the outside, this person presents with what I can only describe as golden retriever energy. You know exactly what I mean when I say that. They come across as warm, steady, wholesome, put together in a way that reads as dependable and trustworthy on first impression. They do not walk around demanding attention or making a production of themselves. They just exist with this quiet, composed, I have my life sorted energy that makes the people around them feel settled and secure in their presence. People trust them. People look up to them. People go to them when they need grounding or advice or just someone who is going to tell them the truth without drama. But here is what I need you to understand completely. What you see on the surface of this person and what is currently happening inside of them when they think about you are two completely different realities existing in the same body at the same time. Because on the inside, this person is a certified mess over you. A beautiful, trying to hold it together, internally losing their mind mess. They have this persistent low-grade anxiety about how to approach you, what to say, how to make the first move in a way that actually creates the impression they want to make. Because they feel like they cannot afford to get it wrong with you specifically. And the fear of getting it wrong with someone they can already tell is unlike anyone they have ever encountered, is precisely what has been keeping them stuck in this pattern of watching and wanting and doing absolutely nothing actionable about it. Which is genuinely hilarious when you consider how confident and capable they are in literally every other area of their life. This is the one thing that has cracked that confidence open. They have been saving your pictures. I am just going to say that clearly and directly. Social media, screenshots, whatever is available to them, they have a collection somewhere that you know nothing about. They study your face. They study your energy even in still images. They are trying to piece together something about you through every bit of available information they can access publicly. And here is what makes it particularly interesting. The more they look, the more fascinated they become. It is not satisfying the curiosity at all. It is deepening it. Every image raises new questions. Every post gives them more to think about. And that just makes the whole situation more urgent and more consuming for them with every single passing day. They are in deeper than they plan to be, and they know it. Something I also want to name specifically, because it keeps coming through this person, has been mentioning you to people in their close circle. Not broadcasting it because they are private by nature and they guard their inner world very carefully, but someone who is genuinely close to them, maybe one person, maybe two, knows that you exist, has heard your name more than once, has probably noticed something different about their friend or family member recently and quietly connected it to you. Because this person does not get animated about romantic interests casually. They do not bring people up in conversation without reason. So when they do, even in the most understated way, the people closest to them notice immediately and take mental note. And those people are probably thinking, okay, whoever this must be something real. Comment below and type the ARE, telling people if this is resonating. Because I feel like a lot of you are going to recognize this energy right away. And I want to see you down there in the comments, letting me know it landed. The jealousy in this reading is something I have to spend real time on because it is coming through so specifically and so strongly. This person is deeply aware that other people notice you. They can see it happening in real time when they observe you in social settings or online. Other people want access to you. Other people are positioning themselves in your orbit with clear intentions. And even though this person has not made any official move yet, even though technically they have no claim on you whatsoever in this moment, they are bothered by every single person who comes toward you with intentions. visibly internally bothered while presenting a totally unbothered exterior to the world around them. They will act like they are not paying attention when someone else gets your time, or your laughter, or your focused energy. But they are tracking every single detail of it, cataloging it, feeling a very specific type of way that they are not ready to fully examine or admit to themselves just yet. And here is why the jealousy runs so particularly deep. They have already decided on you internally, without your knowledge, without any conversation or agreement between you. They made a private decision somewhere along the way that you belong with them. And now they are watching the world interact with something they have already claimed in their heart. That is a very specific and very self created kind of torment. And the only real solution to it is to actually say something to you. But they cannot quite get there yet because you make them nervous in a way that genuinely nothing else in their life does. Now, here is something I want to add that Spirit kept pressing on, and I feel like this collective specifically needs to hear it. This person is also watching how you handle being wanted. And this is so specific and so interesting. They are observing not just who you are, but how you respond when people show you attention. Whether you are selective, whether you take it seriously or brush it off, whether you let just anyone in, or whether there is a discernment to who gets access to you. And what they are finding the more they observe is that you are incredibly selective. You do not just respond to anyone. You are not flattered into lowering your standards. People can throw all the attention in the world at you, and if the energy does not feel right, you simply do not engage. And that specifically is making this person even more determined, because they know that if they approach you, it has to actually mean something. It has to be real. You will see right through anything less than that. Drop it in the comments if you already have a suspicion about who this might be for you specifically. No names required at all. Just let me see that reaction down there, because I love knowing when a reading hits on something personal and real for someone watching. Let me talk about what makes you uniquely and specifically captivating to this person, because this part of the reading came through with so much layered detail. You are a black sheep. And I mean that in the most celebratory and honoring possible way. You have never operated quite the way everyone around you operates. You have never quite fit the mold that your environment or your upbringing or your community laid out for you as the expected path. There has always been something in you that refused to be fully shaped by other people's ideas of who you should be or how you should move through the world. Maybe people called you different growing up. Maybe you were always the one in your group who went a completely different direction when everyone else went the same way. Maybe you have just always had this internal compass that pointed somewhere slightly off from where the crowd was heading, and you followed it even when that felt isolating. And that quality, that genuinely free-spirited, impossible to fully domesticate, deeply authentic quality, is one of the most powerful and rare things about you. In a world completely full of people who have shaped themselves around external expectations and other people's comfort, you are the unusual thing. You are someone who remained recognizably and completely themselves through all of it. And people feel that authenticity even when they have no conscious language for what they are sensing, even when they just stand near you and feel something they were not expecting to feel. This person felt it the very first time they encountered you, and it rewired something in how they understand themselves and what they actually want from a connection. I also want to address something that came through about how people underestimate you, because this is a consistent thread in this reading, and it is connected to everything else. You have this quality where your initial presentation, your warmth, your softness, your gentle and kind way of engaging with people reads to certain individuals as something they can take advantage of, or dismiss, or not take seriously. And those people have made a significant error in that calculation. Because underneath that warmth is someone with standards that are completely immovable. Someone with a sense of self that is so grounded and so settled that no amount of external pressure actually shifts it. Someone who has a very precise and very clean way of removing people from their life when those people prove they do not deserve access. And by the time people figure that out about you, it is usually too late. The door is already closed, and it is not reopening. This person, the one who is obsessed with you, figured this out before they made that mistake. They picked up on the depth underneath the softness before they tried to underestimate you. And that early recognition is part of what has them so specifically hooked. Because most people do not figure it out that quickly. And the fact that they did tells them something about their own discernment that makes them feel even more certain you are the right match. Type they see Emmy in the comments if this is resonating that specific feeling of being seen more accurately and more completely by one particular person than most people around you manage. Drop it below. Now I want to talk about something that Spirit brought through with particular specificity, and I find this detail genuinely fascinating. Your lineage carries something significant and distinct. Whether you consciously connect with ideas about ancestral gifts, or inherited spiritual qualities, or anything in that territory, there is something running through your bloodline that makes you distinctly and unusually yourself in ways that go beyond personality or upbringing alone. An intuition that operates at a level beyond what most people access naturally. A way of reading people and situations that can feel almost supernatural to those observing from the outside. A quality of being that feels ancient and settled and deeply rooted, even when your life circumstances have been anything but settled or easy. And people sense this around you, even when they have absolutely no framework for what they are sensing. They just know you are not ordinary. They just know that whatever is happening in your presence is something they have not encountered before in quite this way. This person senses it completely, and it is part of what makes them feel genuinely unsteady around you in a way they find both destabilizing and completely irresistible at the same time. They look at you and they think, I need to know everything about this person. Not because they are nosy or invasive by nature, but because something in you is calling to something in them on a level that goes way beyond surface attraction, and they cannot ignore that call no matter how hard they try. Type ancestral magic in the comments if this part is resonating, because I feel like this collective specifically is going to connect with this deeply, and I want to see you acknowledging it down there. Let me go into the long-term picture now, because this is absolutely not a casual or undefined kind of energy. This person is not thinking about you in a situationship way or an undefined, let us just see what happens way. When they envision any kind of future and you are in it, and you are absolutely in it, it is a fully constructed picture. A real life. Something shared and intentional and permanent. The ring card came through in this reading, and I want to say that directly and clearly. This person has thought about commitment in connection to you, not as a distant fantasy, as a genuine and specific intention forming inside them. They know on a level they cannot fully rationalize that you are the kind of person worth building an entire life alongside. And that knowing sits in them like a quiet but increasingly loud certainty that is getting harder and harder to keep to themselves. They also want to introduce you to their family. That is not a vague someday thought for them. That is an active and specific vision they already carry. They have already imagined in genuine detail what it would look like to bring you into their most important relationships, the people who are the true core of their world. And in that imagined picture, you belong there in a way that has genuinely moved them emotionally, in their most private and unguarded moments. Now the financial reality of this person, because it came through clearly and deserves its own space in this reading. This is someone who is stable and doing well in a real and substantive way. They may work in construction, architecture, investment, something that involves building or developing or creating something tangible and lasting over time. There is a meaningful and deliberate parallel between how they approach their professional life and how they approach everything else that matters to them. They are builders at their core. They do not start things they are not planning to finish. They do not invest in things they do not believe in completely. And they are looking at you and seeing the most significant and meaningful investment they have ever felt genuinely compelled to make. They want to spoil you. And this needs to be said with the right framing, because it is not transactional, and it is not about impressing you or purchasing your affection. It is about the fact that when they look at you, they see someone who gives generously and consistently to the people and things that matter to them, and who absolutely deserves to receive that same quality of generosity in return. They want to make your life feel lighter and more abundant and more beautiful. They want to be the reason certain things feel easier for you. That impulse to take care of you is coming from the most genuine and unperformative place in them. It is just how they love. And they love deeply when they actually love. Let me now address the karmic layer of this reading, because Spirit was very insistent about including this, and it carries real weight. Something is actively unfolding behind the scenes in your life that is directly connected to your elevation and to the people who failed to recognize your worth when they had the opportunity to see it clearly. The people who looked at your warmth and your kindness and your gentle approach and took those qualities as an invitation to underestimate you. The people who talked about you dismissively when you were not present to hear it. The ones who thought your softness meant you could be handled carelessly or taken for granted without consequence. Those people are currently in the middle of an uncomfortable and very precise reckoning. Karma is unhurried, and it is exact, and it does not miss a single detail. And what is finding those people right now is directly proportional in weight to how they treated you. Some of them are repositioning, trying to quietly rewrite their involvement in what was said or done, trying to make themselves scarce before the full weight of accountability catches up completely. And the thing compounding their discomfort is watching you simultaneously, watching you rise. Watching you attract exactly the kind of connection and energy and abundance that makes every dismissive thing they ever thought or said about you look completely ridiculous in retrospect. That is not accidental. That is the universe being exacting and deliberate. Money is shifting for you. This came through too strongly to treat as a minor detail, and I want to give it the space it deserves. The financial picture in your life is genuinely in the process of changing. Something is moving. A door is opening that was previously closed. An opportunity is forming in the background, even if you cannot fully see the shape of it yet. For some of you, it is a new income stream, a creative project finally gaining traction and real recognition, a career advancement that comes from somewhere unexpected, an investment beginning to pay off in ways you did not anticipate. For others, it is a more general energetic shift around money things that felt tight beginning to genuinely loosen. Things that felt out of reach beginning to feel within actual grasp. The elevation happening in your love life and the elevation happening in your financial life are not separate events. They are part of the same incoming chapter, opening simultaneously. And that chapter is arriving whether you feel ready for it or not. Something else that Spirit wants to say specifically about your abundance, and this is for the people who have been struggling for a while and who might be watching this in a moment of real financial stress. The rags to riches energy in this reading is not decorative. It is a genuine marker of a turning point. What you are about to step into financially is going to feel disproportionate to where you currently are. And the contrast is going to be significant enough that you will look back at this period and understand it was the last chapter of a particular kind of difficulty, not a permanent state, a chapter. And it is closing. Your desires across all areas of life are in the active process of manifesting. Whatever you have been putting out there consistently, through prayer, through intention, through visualization, through that stubborn, quiet hope you have maintained, even in your most discouraging and depleted seasons, it is being heard and it is being answered. Not always on the exact timeline you would choose or in the exact form you imagined, but it is moving toward you. Things are clicking into place in the unseen that you will begin to see evidence of very soon in your tangible daily reality. Stay open. Stay expectant without being rigid about exactly what it has to look like when it arrives. Because sometimes the answer comes in a form more beautiful than the one you were picturing. And for those of you who have been questioning lately whether any of this is actually real for you, whether the love, the abundance, the connection, the recognition is actually something that is meant for your specific life, I want to address that directly. The questioning is understandable. You have probably had experiences that gave you reason to doubt. People who showed up initially and then disappeared. Connections that felt significant and then dissolved. Promises made and not kept. And all of that accumulates over time into this quiet background doubt that whispers, maybe this is just not for me. Spirit is responding to that doubt directly in this reading. It is for you. All of it. You are not designed for a small life or a mediocre love or a connection that leaves you constantly guessing. You are built for something that matches the full depth and fire and warmth of who you actually are. And it is coming. Let me give you the final messages from Spirit, because this is where every thread of this reading comes together, and I want each one to land properly and completely. First, this person has never wanted anyone the way they want you. Not in any previous connection. Not with any person they have ever pursued or felt drawn to before in their life. You are categorically different from all of it, in a way that has absolutely no comparison in their personal romantic history. And they are fully aware of that distinction. They are sitting with that knowledge privately, and it is simultaneously the most exciting and the most terrifying feeling they have ever sat with. Because the stakes feel higher with you than anything they have ever cared about. You matter to them in a way that is already irreversible. Second, the emotional opening that is going to happen for you when this connection fully arrives is real and it is significant. Whatever has been closed off in you, whatever protective layers have accumulated from experiences where you trusted people and they were not careful with, that trust this person coming fully into your life is going to address all of it. Not by pushing through anything or demanding vulnerability before you are ready. Just by being so consistently and patiently and genuinely present that your walls start to feel unnecessary over time. That is the kind of healing that actually lasts, because it happens naturally rather than being forced. Third, your personality is what has sealed it for them completely. More than anything visual, more than any first impression. More than anything they observed from a distance, it is who you genuinely and completely are that has this person absolutely undone. The way you think, the way you carry yourself when nobody is performing for you, the way you show up for the things and people you care about without needing anyone to witness it. They are already deeply invested in your character before they have had full access to it. And the more access they eventually get, the more permanent and irreversible this becomes for them. There is no version of this story where they encounter the full you and walk away unchanged. Fourth, manifesting through unexpected and seemingly random channels is happening for this collective right now in a real and active way. Some of you are going to have a significant development in this connection come through music, through social media, through a completely unexpected encounter in a city environment or social setting you were not planning to be in. The universe has very specific and very deliberate arrangements in place for how things unfold for you. Trust the randomness when it shows up. Trust the coincidences. Trust the moments that feel too perfectly timed to actually be accidental. Because they are not accidental. Not a single one of them. Fifth and final, they will stop at nothing. Spirit put this phrase at the very opening of this reading and brought it all the way back around to close it for a very deliberate reason. This is not someone who is going to let this slip away because they were too proud or too scared or too slow to act. Something is about to break open in them. A moment is approaching genuinely and soon where staying quiet becomes physically impossible for them, where the weight of everything they are carrying about you simply cannot be contained any longer. And when they step forward, they are coming with everything. No hedging, no casual approach, no pretending they have not been completely consumed by you for however long this has been quietly building inside them. They are going to make absolutely sure you know where they stand and what they want, and how serious all of this already is for them before you have even had the full conversation. You are someone's answered prayer. You are someone's entire future plan. You are someone's top priority before you even know you are being prioritized. You are the thing someone is working up to every single day. Stay exactly who you are. Stay free-spirited. Stay soft where you are soft, and fierce where you are fierce, and completely unapologetic about the full reality of who you are at all times, without softening it for anyone. Because that specific and irreplaceable and completely unrepeatable version of you is precisely what has someone out there absolutely unable to stay away from you for very much longer. Please like this video if any part of this reading resonated for you today. It genuinely helps this message reach so many more people, and I want it to find every single person it was meant for. Drop a comment below and tell me what landed the hardest. Was it the karmic section, the jealousy piece, the ancestral magic, the long-term picture, the financial shift, the way they see you section, the final messages? I want to hear specifically from you, and I read every single comment because connecting with you all down there is genuinely one of the best parts of doing this work. If someone specific came to mind during this reading, please share this video with them. You might be passing along exactly what they needed to receive today. Click the link below, come to my channel, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and let us keep going together from here. I will see you in the very next reading. Take such good care of yourselves every single day. You are so much more wildly loved than you currently realize, and that love is getting closer to you with every single day that passes.